Hey guys, I'm Vince Noble, and the best part about living in the Sunshine State is the water life. Growing up here, I've always had access to the beaches and shorelines, where there's plenty of fishing, boating, and relaxing going on. And my love for water brought me to radio. The dragon boat races are going this weekend too, so we want to which got me to cover some of the biggest sporting events in the area, some of which included the powerboat racing, dragon boat racing, and a lot of fishing tournaments. But that's not all, because when it comes to the water, the possibilities are endless. So I want you guys to experience living out water life, so come with me. The west coast of Florida is becoming one of the most trendiest areas in the state. More and more people are moving to the Gulf Coast. The Channelside district is always crowded and full of shops and restaurants around the waterfront. And one of its biggest gems is the Florida Aquarium. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Livin the Water Life. Today we're here at the Florida Aquarium. We're gonna go inside and check out all the fish. I think there's an albino alligator, and we might even go on a little boat ride. So join us, come on inside. The Florida Aquarium has been here since 1995. Since then, it's been wowing locals and tourists alike with its massive tanks and water life. Housing over 2,000 coral reef residents and representing 100 species, this 500,000-gallon tank gives a glimpse into the underwater world. Hey guys, we're here with Rob at the Florida Aquarium. He's going to tell us a little bit about this tank behind us and all the programs that they have here going on at the aquarium.
So the tank that we're standing in front of today is our coral reef exhibit. It's really a great exhibit for us because it showcases what Florida is really known for with all of our waters. We've got different types of fish. We have our sand tiger sharks, as well as showing what some of the coral looks like in our coral reefs here in the Florida area, especially around our keys down in the Florida Keys.
The aquarium offers a lot more than meets the eye, and this is what draws a large crowd.
The Florida Aquarium offers a great opportunity for many families to come and experience wildlife. We have over 20,000 different animals and plant species that you can interact with here on a daily basis.
Today we're going to take a closer look at a one-of-a-kind program the aquarium offers.
One of our most popular programs here at the Florida Aquarium is, of course, centered around being in the water. One of those programs is a program that gives you the ability to actually swim with our sharks. Now you may say right away, whoa, swim with the sharks? Absolutely, you've got nothing to be fearful of. So when you get into the exhibit here and have that opportunity, you receive a little bit of training ahead of time. You have a safety dive officer that's there with you during that period of time. And one of the first things that you'll notice is that the sharks are just interested that you're there, and they're going to leave you totally alone. It's a phenomenal experience, and one that we are proud to offer here at the Florida Aquarium.
You think sharks are intimidating? Get a load of him. Out in the ocean, he can also be swimming alongside you. Now that's one big boy right there. All you divers, you gotta be careful. You see this man out in the water, stay clear. He's the aquarium's largest fish, weighing in over 300 pounds. The Atlantic Goliath grouper, known as the Jewfish, can grow up to 800 pounds, probably even bigger. But it's not only in the tank where you can see the Goliath. You may even be up close and personal with a unique dive that the aquarium offers. The Goliath grouper is critically endangered due to overfishing and has been protected in the U.S. water since 1990. You can find these massive fish in the Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea, and parts of the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. Goliath groupers live between 30 and 50 years. They mostly eat crabs and other fish. With a large jaw, they snap them open to suck in their prey and swallowing them whole. This guided dive site will allow you to dive down 50 feet to explore the watery depths below for about an hour. You'll see a variety of sea life, including small corals, schooling fish, juvenile fish, and if you're lucky, a Goliath grouper out in his element. Another dive the aquarium offers is pretty historic. You'll have to go down about 15 feet to see a civil warship. The USS Narcissus sank in 1866 after the boiler exploded. All 26 crew members on board went down with the ship. The USS Narcissus is now considered a military grave and Florida's 12th underwater archaeological preserve. Divers from all over the world come to explore this piece of history. The museum in the sea is teeming with sea life. You'll get to see coral, black kingfish, and Goliath grouper. How about taking a journey through the Florida wetlands? The wetlands play a big part of our ecological system here. You can literally stand with Florida native wildlife. These animals include alligators, otters, birds, fish, and even learn about the invasive species like the Burmese python. Not only do freshwater wetlands provide a home for wildlife, they also are the first defense against flooding, absorbing the rainfall like a huge natural sponge. The Florida wetlands also acts as a purifier and a filter, playing a vital role in maintaining the health of Florida's water supply. Even the saltwater wetlands protect the shoreline, serving as a buffer against strong winds and waves. And how about traveling from the wetlands to halfway across the world? This is where the island of Madagascar lies. Flourishing in native wildlife and plants, the Florida Aquarium brings a bit of Madagascar to its guests. You'll get to see and learn about lemurs and other native wildlife unique to Madagascar. And speaking of wildlife, we love making sure they stay around for a long time. The aquarium actually takes an active role in rescuing injured sea turtles. The main threats to the sea turtles are from boat strikes, becoming tangled in fishing lines and nets, consuming plastics, and when they come ashore to nest at night, mistaking artificial lighting for moonlight when they're trying to return to the sea. Having rescued hundreds of endangered sea turtles since 1995, the Florida Aquarium is giving them a second chance at life. And once they're nursed back to health, they can be released back into the wild. Check out the cool thing that they're doing here at the Florida Aquarium. They're growing their own coral right here on the roof. What they're doing here is they're taking fresh polyps from great coral beds, taking them back here to the Florida Aquarium, growing them, and then replanting them down to the Keys. Coral is actually an animal that is made up of hundreds to thousands to millions of individual animals called polyps living on these skeletons. Coral reefs worldwide are super important. Not only do reefs attract tourists to travel to the area to see how pretty they are, but they also shelter thousands of species of fish and animals, including 800 species of corals. Reefs also play a part in preventing shoreline erosion, softening the strength of the waves before they hit the land, and that could be a lifesaver during a storm. But corals are in danger. Coral bleaching is weakening them. The epidemic is caused by the rising temperatures of the sea due to increasing levels of carbon dioxide in the water. Warmer water causes the corals to force out their main source of food, the colorful algae that lives in their tissue. Turning white and becoming very weak and brittle, they become vulnerable to disease. We're going to meet with Sean Gardner, a senior marine biologist here at the Florida Aquarium, who's going to tell us a little bit about the coral farm.
We are on the top floor of the Florida Aquarium in direct sun right now. It's really hot in here and it's really bright in here. Well, the corals need it. They have algae that lives inside of it that gives the coral their food. So besides really good lighting, they also need really clean water. And we get that through a protein skimmer that takes out all the organic waste. And I'm talking about coral poop out of the water. And then we have a reservoir here where we grow really nice algae inside here. We also have a surge machine, which is a big vat, and it will fill it with 200 gallons of water and it will surge into our coral exhibit, allowing the corals to get more food and take away nutrients. What we found out is that when we hang the corals, they grow much faster. They grow a lot faster than if we were to glue it on a rock or our older ways.
The Florida Aquarium has been working with the Coral Restoration Foundation, the University of Florida, and several members of zoo associations and aquariums in a group effort to save dying coral reefs worldwide. Successfully growing coral at the Florida Aquarium has allowed them to transplant corals to the threatened reefs. One of them is in our own backyard, right off the coast of Florida, the Florida Keys Coral Reefs. The Florida Reef is the only living coral barrier reef in the continental United States, and it's the third largest coral barrier reef system in the world. It's a few miles seaward off the Florida Keys, and it's about 4 miles wide. In order to grow coral, you tear off ends of healthy corals and relocate them to a small concrete disc. It's an exact clone and it ends up growing there 3 times faster. The Florida Aquarium researchers have been successfully able to obtain some of the baby coral and to grow them to adulthood at the aquarium. Coral reefs can also contribute to medical science. Drugs are being developed from sea life and plants from coral reefs, and scientists say this may lead to cures for arthritis, cancer, viruses, and other diseases. The major threats to coral reefs are caused by humans: pollution, overfishing, and also using them for building materials. Now a change of pace. We're going to head out and it's time to go see some dolphins in the wild. The Florida Aquarium takes you on a 75-minute catamaran adventure where you get to experience Tampa Bay on the water.
Currently we're out here on our 72-foot catamaran. It's a double-decker. We have approximately 40 people out here enjoying the day with us in Hillsborough Bay. We are out here looking for Atlantic bottlenose dolphin. One of the things that we like to do is bring our guests out here, teach them a little bit about the environment, about the bottlenose dolphin, as well as the birds, the environment, pollution, and different things that affect the wildlife out here and our water. We have Captain Jamie here. He's navigating us out here today. One of the things that is enjoyable about being a captain out here on the Florida Aquarium is that we actually get to be out on the water almost every day. It's enjoyable teaching the kids new things, just to see their eyes light up whenever they learn something new as well.
With luck on my side, we got to spot a few bottlenose dolphins surfacing the water. Dolphins swim in pods about 10 to 15. Even though these beautiful creatures are not classified as endangered, they still face threats. They can get caught in fishing nets, be illegally hunted, and constant pollution in the sea can also kill them.
You know, another cool thing about dolphins is you see them out on the beach all the time. So come on the boat and watch them there. I want to say a big thank you to the Florida Aquarium. It's been an awesome day. Join us again for another adventure on Livin the Water Life.
Coming up on Livin the Water Life, we've got a special guest joining us this holiday season. That's right, the one, the only Santa Claus. We're hoping his Christmas magic will help us reel him in. And while he's here, I'm hoping to get some answers on how he handles Christmas Eve. Find out on Livin the Water Life.
Got lucky when I woke yesterday. 125 pounds had